America's Major League Baseball kicked off its regular season here at the magnificent Tokyo Dome in March. Now, baseball is huge in Japan, and nearly 45,000 fans flocked to see the Oakland Athletics take on the World Series champions, the Boston Red Sox. Not only did the locals come to see the All-American stars, they also came to see some homegrown heroes who have become big names in the States. Brendan Connor reports.
One big boy! One whoop!
Baseball in America. Such a well-loved game, such a slice of life in this country. It's been played here since the 1800s, and American fans have long adored their traditions and the experience of going out to the ballpark on a sunny day, cheering for their team. It's referred to here as America's grand old game. But is it really all that American anymore? Less and less so, it seems. More than 30% of the players in Major League Baseball are from countries other than America. Most come from Latin nations like Mexico, the Dominican Republic, and Venezuela. And Canada produces a handful as well. Now, there's also a new exporter of talent to the top baseball league in the world, and that is Japan.
I like the American.
Japanese players like Sotoguchi of the Philadelphia Phillies are popping up more and more in American baseball. When they arrive here, they usually have been playing professionally in Japan for 9 to 10 years. So they come well experienced and with many of the desirable qualities that teams look for.
I think it's bringing an international follow. I think I know I played baseball in Japan for 6 years, and I know the following that the Japanese players bring to America, and I think it's good for baseball. And I think most of the times when the Japanese player comes here, he's usually a pretty good player. And if you go back and look, they've had good careers here, and that shows that they got players who definitely can compete at the major league level. And I'd say probably in the future you're going to see more.
Yeah, I think it's good for American baseball, and then I think it's good for Japanese baseball also. Major League Baseball is the best. It's a #1 of the world. Usually, every country it's a kind of top player should become here.
Japanese pitchers are certainly in huge demand. The reigning World Series champions, the Boston Red Sox, paid $50 million in 2007 just for the right to negotiate with star pitcher Daisuke Matsuzaka. Then they signed him to a contract for another $52 million. But he seems ambivalent about the influx of his countrymen to American baseball.
I think it's definitely fine that players with the ability to play come over here to play. But just because there's more Japanese players, I don't know if that's something that makes me happy. It's just an individual thing.
We don't care where they're from. If they can help us win games, we're not, we just want to have the best players we can, and we don't really care where they come from. They have a Red Sox uniform on, that's what we care about.
The Los Angeles Dodgers are also in the business of importing Japanese players. The Dodgers have a long tradition of staging friendlies with top Japanese teams as far back as the 1950s. And they have long been scouting and signing players from there and bringing them to America. AC Korogi has been handling that key job with the Dodgers for years.
I think because some of the concerns that they have is they're coming to a different country with different culture, different language, different food, different type of baseball even. You know, for us, we're going to bring a player all the way from Japan or anywhere in Asia over here. I think it's our obligation to make sure that they can focus on baseball, and that's been our philosophy. So we would provide interpreters so they can just don't worry about the language or the culture or anything like that, and we'll do whatever we can.
The Dodgers as an organization see the merits in not only broadening their talent pool, but also their fan base and that of the sport worldwide.
What you find happens is that when the Dodgers are the first to get a player from Japan, like Hideo Nomo, the first to get a player from Korea, like Chan Ho Park, you wind up annexing a fan base that may have cared somewhat before, but now cares passionately. And that's good for the Dodgers. That's good for baseball.
The Japanese players are coming to America in ever-increasing numbers, and at first glance it seems easy to understand why, what the motivation would be. It's money. The multi-million-dollar salaries being paid in this country in this sport are far bigger than they could ever be paid in Japan playing professionally. But on second glance, and talking with some of the players, it becomes clear there are other motivating factors at work as well. The latest acquisition for American baseball is the Dodgers signing of Hiroki Kuroda, a talented and respected veteran of 11 years in the Japanese league. He will pitch this year for the Los Angeles team. His arrival and appearances in spring training were followed relentlessly by the Japanese media.
I just wanted to see how well I would do against the best players and in the best league in the world.
Is there not only a baseball adjustment, but also a cultural adjustment? How are you finding life in America?
I think the biggest thing for me is the difference in the language, obviously. I would like to communicate a bit more. There are some minor baseball differences, but the biggest thing is the language.
Other baseball players welcome the migration of seasoned Japanese players to the American game. The consensus seems to be, if they can play at this level, bring them aboard.
I really don't have a lot of knowledge of these Japanese pitchers. I have come across a few, and I just put my bat on their pitches. What else can I tell you?
Discipline is just part of their culture. You know, they're just a step above compared to, you know, a lot of different cultures. But just the quality, the intensity they have, Kuroda and Sam, I don't know if they're all the same, but the ones that I've caught, you know, they're really intense. When the game's on, you know, they're getting after it.
They certainly showed they can play on any level when in 2006 the Japanese team won the inaugural World Baseball Classic, an international tournament that featured many of the top players in the sport suiting up for their national sides. Japan defeated Cuba in the championship game. Still, American baseball fans and writers have begun asking if this is indeed the future of baseball in this country. Will it become like England's top football league, where the team rosters show fewer and fewer native players and more of the talent is imported?
Baseball on the field is a meritocracy. The best players play. If the best players are Japanese, if the best players are Korean, if the best players are Chinese, if the best players are from Italy, wherever it is, you wind up bringing the world together through baseball. And when you do unite the world through baseball, you know that you're doing more than just playing a game.
Baseball as a bridge across cultures? Possibly. If so, lately it's been Japan and America building that bridge. Brendan Connor, Al Jazeera, Tampa, Florida.
Well, as always, don't forget to check out our website, aljazeera.net/English. There you can catch up on all the latest sports news. You can watch any of our Sports World stories online and tell us what you think of the show. That's aljazeera.net/English. But that is it for this edition of Sports World, coming to you from Tokyo in Japan. I'm Wayne Hay. You're watching Al Jazeera.